So guys, as we step into episode 43 of Arafta, the story feels like it has entered a new emotional chapter altogether. This is no longer just about secrets or silence. Episode 43 is shaping up to be about emotional fallout, what happens after realization, after acceptance, and after distance becomes real. In episode 43, the most noticeable change will be Mercan's energy. She will not look confused, broken, or emotional in the usual sense. Instead, she will look steady, controlled, and distant in a way that feels final. This will be the episode where Mercan stops reacting and starts responding. Every word she speaks, every decision she makes, will feel intentional. One of the key elements of episode 43 is that Mercan will no longer center Ateş in her emotional world. This does not mean she suddenly stops caring, but it does mean she stops waiting. She will begin acting like someone who has already accepted that explanations may never come the way she hoped. This emotional shift will be subtle, but extremely powerful. Ateş, on the other hand, will feel more unsettled than ever. In episode 43, he will finally understand something terrifying. Mercan is no longer emotionally dependent on him. This realization will hit him harder than any confrontation could. Anger, tears, and accusations were things he could manage. But emotional detachment? That is something he is not prepared for. Throughout this episode, Ateş may try multiple approaches to reconnect. At times, he may try to act normal, pretending everything is fine. At other times, he may become overly concerned, asking questions or trying to start conversations that feel forced. But none of these attempts will land the way he expects. Mercan will respond politely, calmly, but without emotional warmth. And that lack of warmth will slowly break him. Episode 43 may also explore Mercan's internal growth in a very meaningful way. We could see scenes where she reflects on her journey, not with sadness, but with clarity. She may finally understand that loving someone should not require constant uncertainty. This realization will not make her angry, it will make her firm. And firmness is far more dangerous than anger. Side characters will play a different role in this episode compared to earlier ones. Instead of creating misunderstandings, they may start reacting to the tension themselves. Someone may notice Mercan's emotional distance and question it. Someone else might warn Ateş that he is about to lose her completely. These external reactions will increase the pressure on Ateş from all sides. A very important shift in episode 43 is that the power dynamic changes completely. Mercan, who once waited for answers, now controls the emotional pace. Ateş, who once controlled silence, now feels trapped by it. This reversal will be at the heart of the episode. There is also a strong possibility that episode 43 will include a moment where Mercan indirectly reveals that she knows more than she lets on. Not through confrontation, but through a statement or decision that makes Ateş realize she is no longer in the dark. This moment will be quiet, but devastating. Ateş may begin to question whether confession will save him, or only confirm that he waited too long. Emotionally, episode 43 could give us one of Ateş's most vulnerable moments so far. We might see him alone, overwhelmed by regret, realizing that control and revenge have cost him the one thing he never planned to lose. This will not immediately lead to confession, but it will weaken him emotionally and mentally. As the episode progresses, Mercan may begin preparing herself for emotional separation. Not necessarily leaving immediately, but creating distance that feels irreversible. She may start focusing on her own future, her own peace, and her own strength. This will be a clear sign that she is no longer stuck in the same emotional place. The tension between Mercan and Ateş in episode 43 will feel heavier than ever, but quieter too. Conversations will feel careful. Silence will feel chosen. Every shared moment will feel like it could be the last in its current form. Toward the final part of episode 43, we can expect a strong setup for a major turning point. Ateş may finally reach the edge of confession, realizing that honesty is the only option left. Mercan, meanwhile, may reach a point where she no longer needs that confession to move forward. And that contrast will be heartbreaking. The ending of episode 43 is likely to be deeply emotional rather than dramatic. A look, a pause, a decision, something small that signals something huge. The episode may end with Mercan taking a step that quietly changes everything, leaving Ateş standing still, realizing just how much he has lost. Overall, episode 43 feels like the episode where emotional independence becomes real. Mercan steps fully into her strength and clarity, while Ateş finally faces the consequences of waiting too long. Love may still exist, but it is now overshadowed by missed chances and irreversible choices. If episode 43 unfolds this way, then the episodes ahead will not be about discovering the truth, they will be about surviving it. Before we end today's video, let me ask you something important. Do you think Mercan is already emotionally done in the next episode, or will Ateş finally confess the truth before losing her forever? Drop your answer in the comments below, because episode 44 is going to be about consequences, not feelings. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and make sure you subscribe to Series World for daily previews, predictions, and full episode breakdowns of Arafta. Your support really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.